Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning or afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Dorothy. I am on the social and comms team here at Evernote, and I am joined by someone you might recognize, Ian Small, CEO. So it's been a while since we've had a webinar with the community or had Ian sitting in front of the community. So I'm going to dive right in with the question we easily get asked the most, both on social and from the community. Where are these clients? Where are they?
That seems like the question of the moment, I have to say. So I think as everybody probably knows, who's been watching the behind the scenes videos, we've been working pretty hard over the course of the last 18 months to rebuild and improve the app that we all depend on every day. And that doesn't just mean the parts that we interact with, it also means what lies behind it in the cloud, et cetera. And we've talked about all of those features in the behind the scenes videos. And this week really is, I think, the first, from the standpoint of our customers and our users, the first big milestone in trying to create this set of more coherent, more consistent Evernote applications, because in the coming days, we expect to ship the brand new Evernote for iOS. So we'll be releasing a new app on the iOS platform. And we know that many, many, many of you have been patiently waiting for that. So we're pleased to say it's just about here.
So next couple days, like tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is a pretty busy day for those of you who haven't noticed Apple's doing something tomorrow. So it won't be tomorrow, but it will be in the coming days. And so, what I can say is the app is on its way into the App Store for Apple's approval. Everybody who's done this knows that that sometimes takes a little bit of time, but it will be coming out in the coming days is what we're going with, not tomorrow.
All right. Maybe we'll circle back, but I'll accept that answer for now. So can you talk about how we got from where we were to now iOS?
Well, I think, we've been on a pretty long journey of trying to tackle the sort of accumulated product debt and accumulated technical debt that had, shown up over the years at Evernote. And we've been doing that in the cloud in terms of the architecture. We've also been doing that at the client level. And our mandate internally has been not to ship anything before we believed it was ready. And so it's been a bit of a race on the inside in terms of which client would be ready first. At this point, iOS has gotten its nose across the finish line before anything else. And so iOS is the first app that we are going to release. Mac and Windows and Android will all follow. But right now, this week, we're talking about iOS.
And what are you most excited about iOS?
Well, there's a lot of new stuff, right? If you've been watching the videos, you've seen that we have fundamentally rebuilt and redesigned search. We have fundamentally rebuilt and redesigned the note editor. We have improved navigation. We have added things that have been long missing from iOS, like nested tags. There's a whole bunch of new stuff at the core of the Evernote experience that is in the product. You won't see like completely new functionality you've never seen before. This is not what this app release is about. This app release is about taking the Evernote experience and making it more consistent, making it more reliable, making it work better, making it work faster. And so if you're a longtime iOS user, one of the first things you'll notice is that this app is by and large faster than the last one you had. But you will notice things like, search is more helpful. Search, as you start to look for things, automatically is making suggestions about what you might want, and that those suggestions tend to be pretty accurate. You'll notice things in the editor that are easier to do before. You'll notice the editor is a little more powerful than it used to be. And then you'll notice features that were never ever implemented on iOS before are now a part of the iOS experience. And the easiest one to kind of hang your hat on there is nested tags, something that, if you made a nested tag on your Windows machine and then you picked up your iPhone to look at it, you couldn't really see it before. Well, now you can not just see it, you can make them, you can edit them, you can manage them. That experience is now available on the iOS platform as well.
And I know that one of the first things we're going to get after this webinar is over from our Windows and Mac and Android users is, okay, that's great for iOS users, but when's our turn? When do we get our updates?
Soon, I would say. I said in the coming days for iOS. I'm going to say in the coming weeks, and probably very small number months for across all the board. I would expect all of our new clients to be out.
And why iOS first?
Very simply, it got finished first. We made a commitment that we wouldn't ship anything before we thought it was ready. iOS is ready first, so it's the first one to go out the door.
All right, that's fine. I'll take it. And like in the next few days, right? Like
yes,
Thursday,
in
Friday.
The coming days. That's what I'm sticking with. In the coming days.
Okay, and it's launch day. We have the app. What can we expect that's different than what we have now? I know you kind of talked about it being faster. What are you personally most excited about?
Oh, well, as a CEO, it's important for me to love all of my children equally. So I love all the parts of the new app. I think are great.
So we have iOS this week. The rest are coming soon.
Yes.
It took a while to get to this point. I think the people watching know it took 18 months to get to where we are. So we launch things this week soon. What happens after that? Is it another 18 months? No. Is this the experience? Okay.
So, we're really doing, three things, right? One was we were trying to create this more consistent and coherent Evernote experience so that what you can do with Evernote on one device, you can do on another device. And if you expect to find something in this corner, in this part of Evernote, you'll find it in that corner, in that part across all devices. Evernote kind of works the same everywhere you are. I mean, obviously it looks different on a big screen than it does on a small screen and all the rest, but it makes sense, right? That was one of the things we were trying to do. Another thing we were trying to do was fundamentally improve the infrastructure that the apps everybody uses run on top of, what's going on in the cloud. And as we've talked about in the behind the scenes videos, we've done a lot of that, right? Among other things, we actually moved every single note we had from one old legacy storage system to a more modern scalable cloud storage system. And we did that without anybody noticing. That was actually great that we were actually able to do that. So there's been a lot of work done on those two things. But the third thing we were trying to do was fundamentally change the way we go about developing and shipping software. And we wanted to do that from the standpoint of two things. One, we wanted to be able to develop and ship software faster than we have before. And second, we wanted to be able to ship in a more coherent way so that as we develop new features, they would roll out across all of the devices roughly at the same time, instead of a new feature showing up on one device and maybe taking 6 months or 9 months before you would see it on other devices. We wanted to fix that. And so for me, the actual most exciting part about where we are today is not the 18 months that are behind us, it's the road that's in front of us, because these apps aren't just, cleaner and more modern and, a better search and a better editor and better navigation and those things around all the core features that you're used to in Evernote. They're also a platform on which we're going to be able to innovate and ship really, really fast. And so for anybody who's actually been a part of the beta programs and the pre-beta programs, when they've seen the apps evolving, one of the things that a lot of people have remarked on is how fast they have seen the apps evolving behind the scenes as they've had, pre-beta releases and so on and so forth. And
Mhm.
that velocity that they've seen in development as they've been living with the apps is a velocity we're going to be able to continue going forward. And so I am, we already have things that we are working on to ship in the coming months as completely new features and capabilities for Evernote. I am incredibly confident that over the next 12 months, you will see us ship more things in Evernote, more new features, more improvements, more polish than you've seen us ship in the last 5 years. I am absolutely and completely confident about
It's
that.
a bold statement.
I wouldn't make it if I didn't have already a bunch of stuff in flight that I knew was going to deliver. And this is really what we've been trying to do, is get ourselves onto an internal set of processes and an internal platform that would allow us to move at speed in the market. And so this huge investment we've made is really all about the dividends it's not going to pay over the next number of weeks as we release the clients. It's about what it's going to pay over the next 3 months, 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, as we're able to actually start innovating again in a way that people haven't seen in Evernote for years.
What are you most excited about post GA world, post all the new clients are out world?
Oh, I'm not going to talk about the things we're going to do. You know me better than that. We will ship them when we're ready to ship them. But what I would say is, um, a lot of what we're doing is based on listening to users and understanding what they do today with Evernote and trying to make it easier, faster, more powerful to do those things that they're doing today with Evernote that you can do in Evernote, but that Evernote wasn't necessarily designed to do. So a lot of the new features we're going to be shipping are very much driven by the way that people use Evernote today. They're not driven by a desire to take Evernote in some strange new direction, make it a floor polish or a dessert topping. It's what do people do with us today? What can we do better? Let's add functionality to make that happen.
Well, I certainly don't want to be the one to stand in the way of shipping these clients and features. But before we wrap this up, is there anything else you want to tell the community while they're on the line?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing I would want to say is thank you, because I know this has been an incredibly long time of being patient. Longer than we thought it would be when we set out. This took longer than we thought. We knew it would take a long time, but we didn't think it was going to take this long. So I want to say thank you for your patience and thank you for sticking with us. I want to say thank you to everybody who was a part of the beta program, working with pre-beta releases and with beta releases. I recognize that process has been, for some of you, frustrating because you weren't exactly sure where things were going. But you still engaged with us, and we used your input to help shape where we were going and to decide what to prioritize and what to work on. We're not done yet. This is very much not the end point. This is, for us, the starting line. We are going to be able to keep moving forward from these client ships, both filling in gaps that we haven't quite got to yet, because there are some gaps of things that the apps used to do that they won't do on the first release. But at the same time, also moving forward with exciting new functionality that we know from user testing of that functionality that's already in development that people are super excited about. And so I want to say thank you to everybody who was a part of the beta programs to get us to this stage.
I love that. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for the emails and the comments. Thank you, Ian, for joining us today. let's go ship some software.
I agree. Let's ship some software.
See you
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks.